Okay, story time, everybody. So, me and my partner went to Costco the other day, and we were just kind of looking around, just getting groceries. We started out getting hot dogs. My partner got poutine, of course, because you always got to go to the food court before you go shopping at Costco. Otherwise, instead of coming out with $300 worth of stuff, you'll come out with $500 worth of stuff. So it's always a good idea. So we're at Costco and we're getting some food and we're walking around, and we always check out the electronics section first, because you gotta check out the electronics section. It's the first thing, either the electronics or the glasses section. And we come across something, a little gaming device that I thought was very interesting. It was an Atari gaming emulator made by Atari for Atari games, loaded up with 200 plus games, good to go. So, while this is not a gaming device channel per se, I wanted to do a little unboxing and I don't know, just check it out, talk about how cool I thought it was, and see just see what it's like. I think my favorite part about this little guy is that it's very centered towards kids. It's cheap. It's $200. There's no touch screen. Everything's buttons. It's packaged super hardcore and fully kind of ready for hooking up to your TV, because it is made to have play with friends, which isn't really a thing these days as much. You have the Switch, but this little guy, he's got his multicolors, he's got his orange and his black, and the screen is plastic, and so it's going to be hard to break, and the buttons are clicky and cheap, and it's made to hook up two controllers too on the back. It's kind of weird design. It's got a ball wheel, a D-pad, a number pad. That guy isn't a joystick, it's a scroll. It scrolls infinitely left and right, which is used for Pong. The shoulder buttons are super clicky. It's nothing but click. You got the headphone jack, the HDMI. You've got a spot for a micro SD card, so I suppose you could throw some extra games in there if you wanted to. And you've got your home button, and then your power is a switch. So instead of the button where you have to hold it, and then it's like, do you really want to turn this thing off? Just a switch. And then you've got your AirPort on the back and your kickstand, and then two USB-Cs specifically for controllers. Like I said, this was made for multiplayer gaming with your friends. And so, I just thought it was a really, really cool little guy. And I'm not going to try and make this a gaming channel. This will be kind of a storytelling channel. But for this video, just come along with the unboxing with me. And so it connects to Wi-Fi, but as far as I can tell, that is just to do the initial update. So if you do get this little guy, you're going to want to, well, he's not little, but you're going to want to hook it up to Wi-Fi and do the update. And this is just talking about the controllers that are coming out, it looks like in December. So they've got some stuff that mimics kind of the layout of the controller system on the device, and then some stuff that is like a joystick. Comes with a super long charging cable, like crazy long, and it's only a 5-volt charging, so just be careful about that. You kind of want to use the charger that comes with it, because 5 volt is pretty low. Most chargers these days are between 20 volts. Well, they go with wattage, but yeah, the higher voltage is not great for stuff that wants to be a low voltage. Comes with a really nice HDMI cable, so they really want you to hook it up to your TV. And this was only $200 Canadian, and it comes with your 5-volt wall charger, of course. Well, not of course anymore, but this comes with one. So they really set you up out of the box. They didn't give you any extra controllers, and I don't think it has Bluetooth, so you can't hook up a wireless controller. But obviously you can hook up any any USB-C controller that you have kicking around. This is just me trying to find that output, 5-volt output rating there. AC/DC converter in there, little guy. Yeah, I've checked out a bunch of the games, and they have a lot of 8-bit, bunch of pinball games. Pinball is fun. So there's this thing where you can do saves. So if you can do 4 saves per game. So if you're in let's say you're in like a little like beat 'em ups game, and you're running through some levels, it's a lot of them are arcade style games, so they won't have save states. You die and then you have to start over again like a normal arcade. So what they'll do is you can like get to a certain point, and then you can click on there's a button on the top left, and it'll let you can like save at that point, and then you don't have to start over every time because it's 2025. But in the pinball, it doesn't bring up that save menu, and the save menu also has the quit option, so you can quit back to the main menu. And because you're not just in an arcade where you can walk away, you have to somehow get back to your main menu. So I was struggling with that because there's no quit option out of the pinball. I had to turn it off and turn it back on again. Oh yes, sorry. It comes with a certificate of authenticity. I thought that was really cool. But yeah, so it turns out there's a home button. So if you ever get stuck in a game with the Atari, you can just click the home button and you're good to go. I like the certificate of authenticity. This is all the controllers that are coming. This is kind of exciting. They're trying to make it like an at-home arcade experience, which I really like. And it's appealing to the kids, which I think game systems should appeal to the kids first and foremost. And it's really, a lot of game systems are marketed towards adults these days, which is a bummer. So I like this idea, and the certificate of authenticity, it's like fun, and it's also like if you do ever sell it one day and you still have your certificate of authenticity, it's like an extra little badge of honor in there. And this thing is so cheap that if you bought it, and it comes with games that are like authentically Ataris, so if you went and bought it and then gave it to your 8-year-old, it's not going to be no harm, no foul. Like, it's not going to be any problems with like, oh, is he going to break it or something? It's like, nah, I doubt it. He could probably throw this thing through the washing machine. So something kind of neat is, because of all the different gaming systems they have on here that utilize different button layouts, they have different buttons that light up based on what you are supposed to be using for that system. So a lot of times, like a lot of the games I was playing with the Atari system, it's just the D-pad will light up and then the A button, and that's it. With pinball, it was the back paddles that light up because you use them as to like hit the flappers. So it's the L and R that lit up, and then for Pong, the scroll wheel on the top left lit up. So you would use the scroll wheel to move your little Pong paddle around. So it's kind of cool. This is just me checking out the settings. There's just doing an update here. So it did the update, then it restarts, and I'm not actually sure what changes, but it says in the box to, first thing, connect to Wi-Fi if possible. It will work fine without it, but connect to Wi-Fi if possible. and then do your update. I don't think it has any other purpose other than to update, because there's no option to go online at all. So you got Balls of Steel, which is all your... I went blank there, sorry. So you have your Atari Remastered, you had your Pico, never heard of it. The Balls of Steel is, of course, your pinball. And then these ones are a lot of fun. The Atari Remastered is a lot of 8-bit, 16-bit, really cool stuff. Never played anything quite like it. It's a lot of it just looks like it was made in like a paint program. It's just like a yellow square or a red square or something, and you're just moving around a bigger square, basically. The remastered stuff to the left of that other Atari one, they're a little more like high tech, I guess, but they're a lot of fun. They're still not too insane. And then you've got all these Balls of Steel games, which are a lot of fun. The Pac-Man games, really cool. You've got Classic and I think Speed and Atari 2600. So I've only played the Classic. Speed, I don't think I could do Speed, but I'll try out the Atari 2600 for sure. And then, yeah, Jaleco, no idea, never tried it. Oh, I like, in every system they have this multiplayer option. So they because they want you to play with your friends, they put the multiplayers all kind of in a subsection. So you can just go there and so a lot of them you need 2 controllers for, but you can go there and you know that these games you can play with more people. You can have people over and bam, you're good to go. Okay. Yeah, so it looks like this one. See, you've got your L and R are lit up, and you've got your D-pad lit up, and then we're going into the Brawl Brothers, boys. Well, boys and girls. I shouldn't assume that everyone here is male. Pardon me. Now you've got your start and select on the top right there, so that's going to be used for getting into these sorts of games. And here, this is me not knowing that those start and select buttons are there. So I'm desperately trying to figure out how to start this game, because normally there's a touch screen or you just hit A. And so I've never experienced having an actual dedicated start and select button like this before. So don't mind me. The settings on the top left, that is where you can click and go to your save. So you can save, you can load. It'll show you the control scheme, which a lot of times will tell you how to play the game. So here we got 1 player, 2 player versus mode. And then the credit, if you can see the credit button there, what that's for is for arcade games, you have to insert a coin. But of course, you can't insert a coin. It's a dedicated handheld. And so they've put a credit button there. So if you need to insert a coin, you hit the credit button, and that'll activate the game, and then you can hit start and everything, and you're good to go. Okay, so we have begun. So yeah, these games are, I don't know, it's very simple. It's a lot of fun. I really like the stories that these little games tell about just how the animation used to be, what the technology used to be capable of. There's like 2 or 3 layers, it seems, of 2D animation, so people can go up and down slightly to kind of almost go around each other, but you can't really get out of each other's way. You can only go left and right as the main character, essentially. You've got one punch move, you can duck a little bit, It just, everything in the game and the way that it's artistically made, it says a lot about how people were animating and what the technology was capable of. Obviously, this takes up like no RAM because it's so simple, and they didn't really have much RAM back then. But also, like, you would just die super quickly. And so, despite it looking simple, the challenge was still there. So I just went into settings here, and you can see there's a load and a save option. There's controls, and this is all just straight from the game itself. So you don't have to exit and do any of this. You can change this stuff, and then go back into the game. And then there was the brightness option there, so you can change the brightness as well. The controls going through the settings are a little odd, because you can hit left and right to go in and out of these sub-menus, or you can hit A. Sometimes you have to hit A to go in and then B to come out, or sometimes you have to hit A twice to like confirm your choice, and then that'll bring you out. Like with screen brightness here, in order to lock in the screen brightness, I had to hit A again, whereas I would set the screen brightness and hit B, and then that would reset the brightness to what it was before I went in and reset it. It gets fairly bright and fairly dim. It's a low quality screen, but again, this is made, I think, for people who don't have to take care of it. Like $200 for a gaming device these days was pretty cheap. So the screen being low quality is not a bad thing. If anything, it's a good thing, because you don't have to worry about the screen. The screen is there. It works. It's better than the screens we had as kids. And that's all that matters. There's background music constantly playing, which I love, but you can turn it off. But it's fun. It's fun, like retro music stuff. You can register it. I'm not sure what that means. I haven't checked that out. There's frequently asked questions that you can go through if you've got some queries. And then there's a legal section, which I guess is just a thing these days, just in case. I'm not sure. I guess as a kid, I didn't really pay attention to legal. I would just skip through it as fast as possible. But this does seem like the sort of thing where it's like, Atari has given you these games and you are free to do with them as you choose. You can't sell the games per se, but you could like give this system to a friend and it comes with those games. And Atari is never going to take those games away from you. They would not do that. So here we're in the remastered system here, and it's a good size. It's a pretty good size. Like as a kid, it might be a touch big for your hands. I'm trying to reach all the controls and stuff, but I think it'd be fine. You could totally put this down on a tabletop, and it's pretty beefy. So like if you were a kid and you set this down flat on a table, you could play, and I think it'd be fine, especially like something like Pong. Yeah, it's just a fun little system. It's cheap. It's super cute. It's white. There's no touch screen, so there's no complicated software. Everything comes ready to go out of the box. And Atari owns these games and licenses these games, and so you don't have to worry about having pirated games on your device. And yeah, it's great. It's cheap too.